everyone, we are the All Day Fit team and we are here to debunk common fitness myths for women in training. Debunk!
I definitely felt like I didn't belong in the weight room before All Day Fit because I didn't know what I was doing. I was like, I'll just stick to the cardio machines because at least that way I know what I'm doing and I don't look like a fool. Yeah. Despite having a kinesiology degree.
It's interesting to think about where we think we belong when we first walk in the gym.
Yeah, it depends. It depends on the fitness space that you tend to train in. And that's why it's so important to have a group of people and a community of other women that are strength training and doing the same thing, right? Because then you have the opportunity to learn and become comfortable. And that way now, like, I think we all feel like we can walk into any gym space, and even if it's only guys.
I know that I feel confident now that the girls who have trained at All Day Fit, they would gear towards the weight room because we've now educated them. They feel not only confident, but they know what the heck they're doing when they go into these spaces. But I'm curious, because I do feel like a lot more women strength train now, but is it just because we live in this world? Or if we actually went to Good Life, do you see more females now just based off the way that training's moving?
I went to a Good Life recently.
Oh.
And like, I guess it's like intimidating. Like if I hadn't like trained with All Day Fit for so long, I would have been so intimidated. But I like walked in there like pretty confident.
So why is it that women aren't accepted in that space still? Like, why does that happen? Why is that the norm?
It's intimidation. A lot of guys like look at the girl like, who is this woman? This only woman in the gym. She's getting looked at a lot, you know?
Yeah.
So I feel like they get intimidated. So it's good to bring a buddy, maybe.
Yeah.
I'll always ask a girl to bench me or spot me on the bench instead of a guy, just because I love that.
Cardio is boring.
Yeah. Cardio is
So boring. Cardio is good for cardio.
If you start doing cardio twice a week, that takes energy, right? So yes, you might quote unquote see really short-term like results that you're looking for, but the problem is in order to continue to see those results, the next week you're gonna have to do 3 times of cardio in that week. And then the next week you're gonna have to do 4, and it's limitless. Like you have to keep increasing the amount that you're doing in order to continue to see quote unquote results. And you will reach a point where you can't do anymore.
It's
So,
sustainable.
When I did my fitness training competition, I remember the first 2 months, it was a 20-minute walk. And right up to my competition, I was on the treadmill for an hour and 15 minutes. So
because you just have to keep doing more.
walking at incline 3 for like 2.7. Like program effectively, especially for your goals and your body, it could be 20 or 30 minutes, it could be 40 minutes. It doesn't have to be this,
Get in, get out, get on with your life.
it doesn't have to consume your life.
I feel like it also comes down to how you feel that day.
And that comes down to like the why you're training too, right?
Yeah.
Like more of the stories, as long as you go out and you move your body and you do like something, you're gonna feel good in the end, no matter how long it is and how strenuous it is.
I like to think about sustainability is thinking about the frequency over duration. So you don't have to spend 3 hours once a week in the gym, but maybe 3 multiple 1 hour sessions a week.
What?
So we actually found that on Google.
Oh, really?
What? That was like an actual.
That was an actual myth.
Oh my god. What?
That like all relates with like the whole like toning thing, and lower
Yeah.
weights are gonna make you
Higher reps.
use of like, you know, you can use the words like tone your body.
The idea of toning your body isn't really true because like you can't really pick where you can gain or lose fat or gain or lose muscle.
People go online and they see Victoria's Secret models being like, this is what I do to get fit for the show, and they're using those weights. Well, they're not really doing anything, they just are born that way. But people think if I lift these weights, I'm going to achieve this body, this image.
And when it comes down to it, you can't say women can't lift X on a weight because no one knows what anyone's goal is.
Yeah.
So if I lifted 3 pounds, it's not going to get me anywhere near what my physical goals are. But no one knows that when they look at other people. You can buy online programs, a one size fits all. Every program, it's not saying like a program won't work for a variety of people. But just because I do this specific online program doesn't mean I'm gonna be the body this girl who advertises has.
Yeah.
It all works different for everyone, no matter what your body shape, size, type is. And it's gonna change based off everything else going on in your life too.
It's one of the biggest problems with the way that we see fitness and nutrition on social media right now is we assume that if someone that looks a certain way does a certain thing, whether it's the way they eat or the way they train, we assume that if we do that too, then we will look like that, when those things don't add up, right? It's based on your genetics, it's based on so many other factors in your life.
I think this is still pretty prevalent.
Yeah, I actually
A lot
get this
of
on
people.
social media.
Strength training builds muscle, but I think what we're thinking about when we think of bulky requires, for most people and most body types, requires such a level of obsession over not only your training, but also what you're eating. Women don't have the hormones. Naturally, we don't have the hormones that will make us bulky like we're thinking, as long as we're doing a sort of training that is sustainable and functional in our lives, and we're not going to this crazy degree of obsessing over it, right? I think we think about the bodybuilders where that's their whole life. And that's their point. They're doing something aesthetic. They're trying to build muscle. It's in the word bodybuilder. That's what they're going for. We have so many women in the community that you would never classify as this bulky. I think that people are thinking of. They're just strong and have built bodies that are very natural for them and functional for them and healthy, and that's it.
What's your Turkish get up weight again?
People make out to be a bulkier body undesirable because they think it looks like manly, and that's the problem right there, is that every body is desirable and that it's not about having muscle in one place over another. It doesn't matter.
What even is bulky?
Yeah.
If bulky's jacked, you tell me I look jacked, thank you.
Well, I mean, we incorporate a lot of body weight, animal flow.
I think there's a lot of also really impressive calisthenic work that people do, and you go and watch, people have jobs that are stuntmen, stuntwomen that are on sets, and the stuff that they do. I follow a couple of my friends on Instagram do it, and I'm this is a whole new level of strength that I will probably never understand, but they're doing all body weight work, and it's very impressive.
I also think there's a time and place in your programming to use body weight. Like we all just said, we work it in very heavily throughout our program at All Day Fit.
It's can you control your own body before you actually start moving external load?
And you do a body weight squat before then you add a belt in front of you or a bar on your back.
Not true! Again, it comes down to genetics. A lot of times. I've had a lot of clients who would come in and be I want legs like yours, and I'm I want legs like yours. So it's never gonna get you're never so it's just funny.
I think at All Day Fit, people maybe come in with that mentality, and then we teach them to love their own body for what it is and what it can do and what it can lift. So it's almost changing their mentality around that.
On my third day with Jamaica, he goes, no, not maybe a third day, maybe a couple weeks. He's did I tell you this before? I really love your thunder thighs. And I was you're really lucky you're saying this to me because that's a big compliment. Thank you. And I was but you should be careful how you talk to women and making sure. So that's what we talk all the time, that you actually don't compliment or address someone based off their physique, because you don't know how they're going to take that personally. I know he meant it from the right place, but what if I was uncomfortable with the size of my legs? And that could have rippled down to not a great direction.
I've done a lot of crunches in my life, and I don't have any abs. Debunked.
Right.
Next.
Hey, but you have abs. They're strong.
Yes. They're just hidden.
Which having abs and having a strong core are two different things, first of all. To be able to see your abs, you have to be at a certain body composition. And again, it comes down to genetics, it comes down to what you're eating. Most people's body types aren't naturally at a point where they're healthy and you can see abs, especially in women. It's just for most people, that's not a reality.
I feel it comes back to people wanting that spot reduction. I just want to lose weight in this area of my body.
You cannot.
It's impossible.
You cannot spot reduce. The amount of times I feel like I'm asked this weekly is what can I do with my lower abdomen? What can I do with my lower stomach?
Overall.
Right.
Sure.
If that's your goal, that's great. We can work on that. But doing a core exercise is not going to help you target that area. When I got down to being in a lean body fat percentage, I had no period for 3.5 years. So, like Casey just said, right, my body didn't want to be sitting at that lean, that low body fat percentage where I needed to be to see the 6-pack abs.
Debunk. That's the myth. Everyone should be trying to lose weight. That's a stupid myth.
The world thinks that everyone wants to be smaller.
Yeah.
Or the world has us convinced that we all should want to be smaller.
I feel like that also comes down to your why too. Like I feel like people, maybe even people come into like our community and their goal is to gain weight, but then they see how much strength training and community can benefit your life, and then from there it converts and changes them into their why you train.
One thing at All Day Fit we do a really great job at is celebrating all other areas of your life that get changed and benefited from strength training, and then the strength training journey has so much more purpose, and it's something that you see as a lifelong change because it's not just for one small thing, it's now benefiting all areas of your life.
What is our definition of feminine?
Yeah.
And why is it that feminism is associated with being small and dainty?
It's old school mentality.
There's so many definitions of, like, I identify as being feminine and strong, and those two things aren't mutually exclusive.
I bet you if we asked us all what that means to us, it'd be so different. Like to me, it's like confidence and stepping into a space and owning it and being proud, which is like probably not society's definition of what being feminine means.
Like I was told not to play soccer because I was gonna get big legs, but like when I feel strong in the gym, like in strength training, that's when I feel like my sexiest, most confident, like most feminine.
I find it really interesting, like because I'm gonna be having like a daughter, what like everyone, especially like my like in-laws and my parents, like they'll like kind of talk about like what you're gonna put her in. And at first it was like if it was gonna be a boy, they were like, yeah, we're gonna put hockey and do this. And now it's like, oh, but like now she's gonna do like dance and art and la la la. And I'm like, no, she's gonna do whatever the hell she wants to do. Like I don't.
Debunked.
So obviously false. Fats like have so many benefits to like, you know, feeding our brain, and they're also help like absorbing like, your vitamins and minerals in your food. So a lot of times when we have things that are like fat free, they're usually subbing that in for something else. So it's usually gonna be like a carbohydrate, like a sugar, so like unwanted sugars that are gonna be in that food. So there's a lot of stuff coming up now that like people who will like have fat free or low fat items, like there's actually like a huge increase in people who are like becoming diabetic and like higher obesity rates because there's so much more added sugar in those foods.
Fats don't make you fat.
Yeah.
People still have that association in their mind.
Yeah.
You need all 3 macronutrients, including fat.
Yeah.
I think one of the things women struggle with most is trying to understand their cravings. And a lot of cravings come down to not being satisfied with the food you're eating, and oftentimes what's missing is the carb or fat, the two foods that often women are scared of because of what we're told and sold in the business of health and fitness.
You'd be surprised how many people don't know that like fruit and vegetables are carbs.
Yeah. It's interesting to learn how important carbs are for women too. For us, like so important for our menstrual cycle.
I feel like
Debunked.
Retract. No, I just feel like a lot of people they forget to listen to how the food makes them feel and listening to their bodies when they're eating, and just so consumed with I should have this and this and this and this is what's going to help me, versus like kind of figuring out for themselves what works for, you know, their routine and their body. Because I have so many people come in and they're like, oh, I have that 3 p.m. leg, and but still not thinking about what they're eating and just kind of like going by society and just being like, oh, I shouldn't have carbs, I shouldn't have this, I shouldn't, you know.
You're good at it.
True. This is true. I wanted us to all be like, cheers.
hear these like things saying like, oh, but red wine's fine, because I think people just want to justify drinking it.
Right. As if it's a lesser evil.
At least
Yeah.
that's what people say with like the whole like coffee thing. I have this too. It's like, well, if we really like we can't be naive to the fact that if it was completely eliminated from our diets, if all alcohol or like all stimulants, like all caffeine and stuff, like we would probably be better off.
Right.
We can't make that argument. So when people are like, oh, but I have like a bulletproof coffee, it's good for my health. It's like, yes, you could if you want. If that makes you feel better, like I'm okay with that. But like you also probably would be better off with just eating like an unboiled peanut butter in the morning.
Let's be honest
Probably,
with ourselves.
let's be honest with ourselves.
We all have calories.
Happy Women's Day! Have a vag-tastic day.